I think my mom tried to name me after a comedian by the name of Scoey Mitchell, whom I have no clue who the heck he is.
There he is, Mr. Carson, Harry Carson, joining us in the flesh. Harry, thank you so much for joining us too.
Well, no doubt. No doubt. I am smiling deep down inside. I mean, to see the Cowboys up 16-0 is a wonderful thing. But as you know, it is
Anything
four
can,
quarters. It's four
yeah.
quarters. And trust me, I don't think the Giants are gonna lay down. I think they're gonna fight the behind off. And but the Cowboys are playing pretty good right now.
Well, at least defensively, they're playing, and special teams wise, they're playing relatively well. I haven't really seen a whole lot of the offense, but
Yeah, yeah.
that's because the defense and the special teams have been playing so well.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you're right in the context of the three phases, as you know, and as you may recall, I recall Joe Avazano and Jimmy you say, let's just win two out of the three phases,
Yeah,
whether it's offense or defense or special teams.
yeah.
Let's win two out of the three phases, and whichever those phases are, let's win them. And so
Well,
far, we win in the turnover battle. We have obviously won a lot of the field position battle, and we'll get to see what the offense look like coming out of this series here.
Emmett, as I watch this game um, unfold, I look at, as a defense, you're dealing with adversity,
Right.
and I think you're going to learn a lot. The Dallas Cowboys and the New York Football Giants in the next 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And if they're able to rise to the occasion of dealing with this adversity, I wouldn't be overly concerned about this team moving forward, even if they lose the game tonight. But
Right.
I want to see them fight. I want to see them deal with adversity, and that's the most important thing, because anything can happen during the course of a game. I mean, you look like crap at the beginning. You can either give up or
Right.
you can fight. And
And
I'm
Harry,
looking.
you speak on that, and I'm gonna just tell you one of my real life experiences. We played the Giants in '91 in New York, and we jumped out on them 28, either to 20 to nothing or 28-7 or 28 something. And the game looked like it was going to be over by halftime. We ended up winning the game, but we ended up winning the game like 35-28. It was a close game because
Yeah,
the Giants came roaring back in the second half.
yeah,
And to your point, that's what this right here could represent.
yeah.
It could represent one of those kind of moments to where the game looked like the Cowboys in control, but it don't take much for things to swing back the other way.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I hope that this team play well, especially the quarterback, because New York fans are kind of fickle when it comes to quarterbacks being paid a whole lot of money, and I
They
certainly,
probably, Harry,
I hope,
they probably fickle with anybody making a lot of money. Not just quarterbacks, just anybody get paid a lot of money that they feel is not worthy. Everybody's fickle.
yeah, yeah,
100%, guys. Obviously, we're going to be touching on a lot of subjects right now. Obviously, I think Saquon's going to come up at some point. But we're just going to roll right into the fans, guys, just because that's who they came to see. And obviously, with Harry joining us now and Emmitt, you've been joining us. Obviously, they want to ask you guys some stuff. So right off the bat, we're going to go to Mario. Mario, take it away, my man.
Good to see you, man.
How y'all doing, family?
Good. How are you? Everything blessed, man. Blessed. How are you?
I'm
Mr.
good.
Carson?
I'm good.
Good.
First
Good
and foremost, Mario, you guys in Jersey, right?
Yes.
All right. Y'all remember my man Bertolini, right?
Yeah. He passed away.
He passed away just about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so, Harry, you remember Mike?
Mike.
Mike Bertolini. He used to do the autograph show the Sports Spectacular right there in New Jersey, in Edison, New Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he passed away.
Carson, I wanted to tell you, fan of you on and off the field since you didn't play for the Eagles, so no problems there. Because Emmitt knows that. We get tortured down here, Mr. Carson. We're in South Jersey, all Eagles fans.
Yeah.
But Emmitt knows I'm his biggest fan, and I just wanted to check in with you guys, and looking forward to the next auction. And I'm going to let somebody else talk, but just want to check in, say hi to you guys, all right?
Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Y'all be good.
Pleasure to speak with you.
I'll talk to you soon.
All
All
right.
right.
Be safe.
All right. Bye,
Thank
fam.
Harry, great to see you.
How you doing, Rex?
You too.
Great.
You too,
Great.
Rex.
Emmitt, you been fishing at all? I know it's been pretty warm down
Not
there.
lately.
No?
Not
Okay.
lately.
Okay. I'll leave that one alone. But you talk about playing with some famous people. Harry, you at South Carolina State, Donnie Shell was on your team? Willie Mays Aikens, who played Major League Baseball. So you had some pretty solid talent around you even then.
You know, Willie Mays Aiken was my backup on the football team.
Oh.
And one year we had the baseball draft, and Willie and another guy, they went 1-2 in the baseball draft. And so baseball was always his love, not necessarily football, but I kind of claimed to fame that, you know, Willie was my backup. And so, I mean, he was a great guy, and love him to death.
Well, Emmitt, I got to ask you, the Cowboys have shored up a lot of positions, and Tony Pollard's looking good at the running back position. But as you know, it's a long season. There are injuries. You got to have backups. Right now, he's got Rico Dowdell, who's been with the team for like 4 years, but really hasn't played much. Deuce Vaughn,
Right.
who's a little guy, 5'5", 179, maybe more of a kick returner. Where do you see the situation right now? Is Rico the backup, or will they have to go out and get somebody like maybe like a Leonard Fournette?
I think Rico right now is serving as the backup. You can see these guys run the rock. I mean, they just picked up 10 yards on this carry right here, this first down. They moving the rock. Right now, I think things are solid like they should be. And we'll just see where everything goes from here. I mean, I know Deuce Vaughn is on the bench, backing up the last two guys, but these guys are explosive, though. I mean, between Pollard and Dallo, they are explosive.
I've never, Rico's never played, but I obviously don't go to practice or anything. You've seen him in action before. Was he waiting in the wings, do you think, or was he just is he just kind of next man up?
He is next man up, but he has some skill set. He has the ability to make guys miss. He's quick. He's good in open space. He's just turned a potential negative play into like a neutral or 1+1. That's skill. That's instincts to see things happening before they get there. He has great vision.
I know we've got a time limit, but Harry, real quick, if I could, South Carolina State, reasonably small school. How tough was it going from that level of college football to the NFL?
Well, it was tough. And, the most important thing that I have to say about that is I was a down defensive lineman when I was in college. And when I was drafted to play with the Giants, they asked me, Marty Schottenheimer, who was my coach at that time, wanted me to play middle linebacker. And I'd never played the position of middle linebacker before. And so having played at South Carolina State and having been a down defensive lineman and having played the nose position my senior year, it helped to prepare me for that transition. And so I was able to make the switch from a down defensive lineman to linebacker and make the all-rookie team and 9 Pro Bowls and Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Did pretty well.
And the one thing that, people at South Carolina State will always remind those who went to Carolina or Clemson is we have 4 in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Oh,
Marion
wow.
Motley, Deacon Jones, Donnie Shell, and Harry Carson. Carolina doesn't have any. I think Clemson may have one. And so, we've done a pretty good job of stacking the state with a few members of the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Well, Emmitt, always an honor. Harry, an honor to meet you, and you guys enjoy the rest of the ball game.
Well,
We'll do.
at least Emmitt's going to enjoy the rest of the ball.
Well, we're going to enjoy this
We'll
first
see.
half.
Yeah.
We're going to enjoy this first half, Harry. That's all
Okay.
we're going to do is enjoy this first half because there's always two halves to a game, like I said before.
Yeah.
We may look good right now, but you never know how this thing may turn out in the second half.
Hey, what's going on, Emmitt? How are you doing?
I'm good, James. How you doing, bro?
I am doing fabulous. How are you doing, Harry?
I'm great.
Scoey, where did you get the nickname Emmitt?
Scoey, where did I get the nickname Emmitt? Well, my real name obviously is Emmitt, but
Yeah.
my nickname is Scoey. I think my mom tried to name me after a comedian by the name of Scoey Mitchell, whom I have no clue who the heck he is. But
I remember that name.
You remember the name, Harry?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah,
in mind, Emmitt, that I'm a little older than you. So I knew where your mom was coming from. I'll just leave it like that.
I'm not going to throw you under the bus in terms of being a little older than me. I'm glad you said it, but yeah, that's where the nickname actually came from. She wanted to name me after that comedian, Scoey Mitchell. I don't know what kind of comedian he was. I don't know how good he was.
He was good.
But that's where the name came from.
Got it. I've never known that. I just kind of figured I'd ask. I say there's got to be a reason behind that's a unique name, right? So,
yeah.
Did everybody call you Scoey in high school and grade school and all that, or is it just your family?
My family members mostly called me Scoey my whole entire life, and then when Emmitt was established, that everybody started calling me Emmitt.
Yeah. You have anything for Emmitt?
Yeah.
What do you got?
That I wanted to tell you that you're the best player I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you. That is such a cute thing. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Emmitt. I'll let you get to other people. I just kind of wanted to know. We'll talk to you again soon, sir.
All right. Y'all be good. Peace
All right,
out.
God bless you.
James.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
There are going to be a lot of people tomorrow who are going to look at, the Giants signing this guy for the money that they got him for, because he hasn't really shown anyone that, he is that kind of quarterback.
Yeah.
That
He's not
the Giants really need.
He's definitely not worthy of the dollars that they gave him. And They could talk about Zeke getting his money and all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, man, I mean, this is the way I see it is a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
You're only gonna get a handful of guys that have the potential to truly become that guy that everybody expects them to become.
Yeah.
And it's only a handful. I mean, when you start thinking about the rookies or a couple of year guys that are in right now, the younger quarterbacks, the Justin Herberts, the Justin Fields, the kid from Clemson, Joe Burrows. You start thinking about these young quarterbacks themselves. They got a chance to mature, but a Dak Prescott has probably reached his limit right now.
Yeah,
He's just got to get better in his offensive scheme and offensive system in order for him to be as effective as he needs to be.
Well, Daniel Jones, when he signed his contract, I thought to myself, man, you better be able to step up and be able to run the show.
Yeah.
There is some validity in, the Giants having multiple quarterbacks coming in and this guy not being so steady. But, you can look at a player and tell whether he has that ability to move an offense or be able to improvise and not throw interceptions and fumbles and all of that stuff. He hasn't really shown me that
Yeah.
he's that guy.
I agree with you 100%.
So, he had a good year last year, but we'll see. It's up to this guy and Saquon to be able to help bring this team back. They're down
No
by
doubt.
what? They're down
No
by
doubt.
3 or 4 touchdowns now. If they continue to play the way that they're playing, it's going to be disastrous.
Yeah, kind of
It's
like
going
the
to be
game I saw. Kind of like the
disastrous
game. Kind of like the game I saw last night. Stanford and USC. That shit was disastrous.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was disastrous.
I really don't put a whole lot of stock in the first 2 games of the season.
Right.
Because anything can happen. But right now, when you see this team playing the way that they're playing, and, I give it to the Cowboys. I mean, they are making the plays. They're putting points on the board.
And at the end of the day, that's what we definitely need to do. We need to get 7 versus field goals and so forth in order to actually establish the dominance that we need to establish. And the beautiful thing about what we're seeing right now, it is the second quarter with 8 minutes and 3 seconds left to play in the half.
Yeah.
And we up 20-some points right now. So, and we're looking pretty good offensively. We're looking real good defensively. But there's some more work that needs to be done. And you're right, Harry. In the first 2 to 3 games, it's all about developing the crispness and everything else and gelling as in a complete offense or defense or special team in order to be effective in the long run for the big run during the fall.
Yeah, because
Emmitt,
go ahead.
Emmitt, Harry, I came in from the bullpen. Jesse had some technical difficulties. So I got the call on the back phone and said, hey, jump in. So I'm here to help give a little bit of direction and get a couple more fans on here before we get out of here. Before we get to Lou, though, I do have a question. Emmitt, how long has it been since you've seen a team like the Cowboys have on the field, offensively, defensively, with the depth that they have right now? Or have you ever seen them with that much depth on both sides of the ball?
I think the last time I seen the Cowboys with as much, well, was probably during my era, back in my younger days. I mean, I don't think there has been or will be a Cowboy team that had the depth on it than the first 4 or 5 years of my football career in the National Football League. I mean, we had to measure ourselves against teams like the Giants, Harry Carson, and some of those early Giants teams, late Giants teams, I should say, the Philadelphia Eagles with the Buddy Ryan coach teams. We had to measure ourselves off of those teams, which prepared us and got us ready to go and play and contend for the NFC and the National Football League championship. So I haven't seen that. Now, for the Cowboys, still to this day, I still don't see that. I mean, we are technically truly 1 or 2 injuries away from having a crippled season in critical positions, unlike it was back in my day. Yes, you could have lost me, but I still think you had Irv, you had Jay Novacek, you had Alvin Harper. Yes, the running game made a significant difference during my era, but you still have players that can make significant plays.
Gotcha. All right, I'll tell you what, we're going to bring Lou in. Lou, the Goat Whisperer, if I can get this to come up while I'm waiting to pull Lou up. Harry, I'm going to go back to you with a question. Football was different back when you guys played. It was you guys beat the hell out of each other every week, week in and week out, especially in the NFC East when you guys played. What was the team in the division that you knew? I mean, obviously you have to get up for every, but there's a couple of teams that you play every year that you just, you got to bring a little bit more. Was there a team NFC East back in the day that you were like, okay, here we go. We got to put our A game on?
It's that team that's playing at Giant Stadium or MetLife Stadium right now. It's one thing, talk about the NFC East. The Giants playing against Philadelphia way back in the day. Philadelphia is right down the road, right down the turnpike from, Giant Stadium. So you got further down, you had Washington, and they were a little further down the road on the East Coast, but everything was good. And whenever it was sort of like a gang fight in the neighborhood. The Giants would play against the Eagles, but when the game is over, they pat each other on the rear end. They play against Washington. They fight tooth and nail, pat each other on the rear end. But when you played the Cowboys, you fastened your chin strap and you went out there and you had to bring your best.
Yeah. And
you wanted to show them that they are not indeed America's team.
You know what, Harry? What I come to realize
this was
I come to realize that
this was the mindset.
Anytime everybody's so infatuated with just being the Cowboys being called America's team, that adds a whole nother layer of hatred to everything that the Cowboys are all about.
Evan, let me just tell you something, man. The first game that we played in Giant Stadium, and that was the year that I was drafted, 1976. And the first game that the Giants played in there was against the Dallas Cowboys. And I remember being in the tunnel. And as the players were walking, from the field to the locker room, from the locker room back to the field, and I saw that blue star on that silver helmet or vice versa, I was like, oh, shit, I want to knock that shit out of it. and
I love it.
Once you played against them, and everybody treated the Giants way back in the day, back in the mid 70s. They were a team like everybody wanted to play them because the Giants sucked way back then. I was on a team that actually was very, very bad. And when we got to a point where we became competitive, then we started knocking the crap out of people, especially the Cowboys. So everything is cyclical. You have your day.
Yeah.
And you can laugh and all that stuff on the sideline, but at some point, it's going to come back around and bite you in the ass, And one of those things that I always try to remember what the opposing team was doing when my ass was being trashed. So it's one of those things that, if you're going to be there for a while, remember how you felt when you lost to a certain team. Because at some point, it's going to come back.
It's going to come back.
Let's come back and bite your ass.
Great to meet you.
All right.
With that being said, we're starting this new season. So what are the storylines that you're watching coming into the new season for the Cowboys, Emmitt, and the Giants, Harry? What are the big storylines you guys are paying attention to?
I'm going to let Harry go before me.
No, I'll just say this. Just what you're seeing now, that really is the storyline, because everybody wants, you got a new coach. He has brought a lot to the Giant organization. But the big takeaway that the Giants are going to come away with is the way that the quarterback has played and handled the adversity that they're dealing with. That's what I feel like.
Right.
That's going to be a big story moving forward. And, everybody's healthy, and, the guys, you see them on defense now, and they looked at like they're a little PO'd because of mistakes that the offensive side of the ball and the special teams have given up. So, that's it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to hear what anyone else has to say.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of hearing that maybe Jones is wearing out his welcome from some of the commentary earlier.
Could be. He could.
The commentary is they're gonna make their little comments just to keep headlines moving and so forth. But the bottom line now is when it comes down to the actual play on the football field, Jones ain't got nothing to do with that. It's all up to the individual players in terms of how they perceive themselves and what they really set out to do and how they want to operate as a team and function as a team. Jones can do everything he can to distract the team or distract everybody else or to deflect any pressure that he wants away from the team. But it's up to the team to stay focused and go out and do what they need to do. Because what Mr. Jones is going to do, that's his world. Now, we may have to address it and deal with it after the game, but during the game, ain't nobody thinking about what Mr. Jones is doing.
Yeah, it's a team game.
Yeah.
Bottom line, it is.
You remember this, Emmitt? You see that right there, that gold jacket? You remember that?
Yeah, I do. Is that a Dance with the Stars or something?
That's your 10th anniversary episode jacket.
Okay. That's the one I did a show with Michael Irvin on.
Yeah, and Kurt Warner. You guys all wore the same style jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a unique item. I had to grab it, wanted to show it to you.